And we live, baby. We live. You're tuned in to another episode of About the Night, episode 18. Our apologies for tuning in a little bit late. We had a lot to unpack before getting on the show today, which today's episode is Retaliation or Peace. There's a lot that's been happening, a lot that we need to unfold, but let's just go ahead and take at least 10 seconds and have a moment of silence for a beloved Sacramento musician. His name is DJ Geo. Take a quick moment of silence. Bear with us just a second. Sacramento's mourning this loss of this beloved musician, respected musician, who was a victim of another weekend shooting. What is it, Sacramento? What are we going through right now, man? Because this ain't the normal Sacramento that I'm used to going through. So, fellas, what's going on, man? What's up?
Man, I feel like there's a dark cloud over our city right now. The hits just keep on coming. Last weekend, this weekend, like you guys said it best last week, the senseless murders, man, it gotta stop.
Right.
It gotta stop. It's just crazy, man. I can't believe what's going on in our city. Like, I feel like, man, we live in like Chicago or something right now. Like, this is actually happening every weekend. Like, I don't know what the best plan or option is, to be honest.
Tough point to say. Really a tough point to say, huh? Well, obviously you're rocking with the best About the Night crew. You got Tony behind the ones and twos. You got Warren right here, War Ready. And then we're going to hear, obviously, from the main man, Rob, right here, man. How was your weekend?
It was smooth. Nothing really to, unpack from that. Definitely not as active as it was the week before.
Right.
Right. But, it's sad to, hear about DJ Geo, how much he meant to, just the music industry and how he touched people here in the city, and just with his talent, man, it's compounding, because I think people are still reeling from the previous week, and then someone else that's highly known and respected in the city to go through and have to endure death before its time. I think that's at such a young age. I think it's just tragic. It's
Right.
it's just tragic. Like right now.
You are not lying there, man. DJ Geo for sure. For me, it was definitely a name in the club when I was going out DJing. He made a name for himself out here in the local clubs in Sacramento. Made a name for himself, and he was doing big things. I know we just mentioned it a couple of weeks ago with Cool Code when he was on the show. He was hosting. He was DJing at Hoff, and he had that bitch lit. And that's just the one thing that obviously I was a part of that was major with DJ Geo DJing. Don't get me wrong, there was another event, Cake Wednesdays, popping. DJ Geo, man, you will truly be missed in the town of Sacramento, and I thank you for everything that you have done for this city as far as trying to put it on your back and like make a name for it. You know what I mean? Like, he was making a name for himself as a DJ, and a legend lost way before his time.
Absolutely, man. It just condolences to his family, friends, people that was real close to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Sacramento, man, we got to make that shift.
Right. Shift for Sacramento.
And as Warren said, like Chicago. A lot of people would kind of say like, oh, well, Chicago's dealing with what they deal with. The Bay deals with what they deal with. L.A. obviously is a hot spot. Miami, other major areas. They always have. They struggle with corralling the crime.
Right.
I think it's just different here because usually Sacramento's kind of always, it's almost been like a safe haven.
Right.
Especially here recently.
Right.
I won't speak too much on maybe going back in the 90s. It was kind of hot back then, but I would say like now, I think it's just people are not used to it.
Correct.
It feels like some people are like just uninitiated, you know, in that sense, to this reality.
Right.
Because, you know, if you live in Chicago, you live in, you know, Compton, you live in Oakland, you live in Richmond, you live in, you know, parts of LA, Miami, New York, like this, a part of this is kind of,
sure, every day.
you almost is, you know, numb to it.
Sure, every
you know,
day. Yeah.
so it's kind of it's not, you know, doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. You know, obviously, you know, those type of things. You never get over the pain and people of loss and having to, you know, console the families and friends that have survived. But it's more of a indoctrinated reality. With Sacramento, I think it's just an unknown thing. I just think it's something that people are just not used to, especially this generation right now.
You're right.
You're right. And it's really taking a turn to the left, and we need to shift it the right way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, man,
and it starts with, and to me, it starts with each individual person. And every person needs just, you know, make that shift. Start thinking things through, and then you know, it's a macro issue, and we gotta tackle it.
Facts.
You said something there that made me think of what we said on last week's show. Last week's show, we talked about it being national news, how the shooting played out, mainly because of where it played out at, in a public location. A lot of people were around, a lot of innocent people that were hit, and it made news and it rang, and it should still ring to this day, those people that were lost. And condolences are to the people that were lost in last week's shooting as well. But it just so happened next week we get the senseless shooting that was not in a public location. But it's not talked about as previous weeks were. And once again, I do not want to deter or away from what happened last week, because I said it, we're going to let that bitch ring. It's not just 1 week. We're going to talk about that. We're going to recap what happened again last week. Again, we want to make sure that we bring it up and we talk about those people who were lost last week. But we just recently had an iconic person to this community, Sacramento, that passed away over some stupid shit. That's the shift that we're talking about, Sacramento. We need stupid shit like this to fucking change. Excuse my language, because I know my mom's tuning in now after recent episodes of being on ABC. Obviously, people are looking, but it's just how we feel. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. This shit happened in my backyard, literally. This shit is too close to home. Too many people we know. And it's happening so randomly that never happened years past. We never had this issue. So I'm disgusted. I'm literally disgusted right now, Sacramento, and it's sad. Because this is my home that I live and I love at. I love being outside. I'm outside. I preach it. I'm outside. But if I'm not a part of your random act of whatever you're doing and we innocent people get hit, man, I'm not with that shit. I'm not with it at all. I'm not with it with just people trying to come up in the times that they feel like are in need. We're all in need. Yours is not better than anyone else's, man. So I apologize, because I am disgusted about these recent events that has happened, and not just this weekend, but the previous weekend as well. And my condolences goes out to everybody, all those families that are being affected by this stupidity of what's going on right now in this city. We got to shift. And we need to shift quickly. I don't know what it takes. No one knows what it takes.
No, it's like I said, man. I mentioned it last week, man. It's the heart. It's the person. You know, if you study the psychology of the person, why are they doing the things that they're doing? Are they in impoverished-stricken situations? Are they, you know, they feel like the gang, they feel like the street, they feel like the block? You know, that's the covering. That's going to help them survive this world. That's why people make these decisions, you know. Or is it somebody that, you know, feels like they want somebody to call them real, and so they think taking actions like this is going to, you know, validate them in that way. It's a bunch of different things, but it's really going to start with the heart. You have to actually change the person's heart so they don't make the choices that they make, and you have to start changing that trajectory of which, you know, their motives are going to be and what they want to strive for. We have to. You have to. Those are the things. And is that going to take time? Yes. That ain't going to start. That's not going to happen overnight. We're not going to reap those results overnight. But what will happen if someone's listening, if a group of people is listening, I said last week, if they reconsider, making that choice, that's somebody else that we ain't grieving, right. And that's a win.
That's true.
Right. So
that is true.
I do want to, we was a little short last week. Right. We was missing out with War Ready wasn't on the show, man. He was.
Where was you at, huh?
He was out there.
Where was you at, huh?
He was out there getting a tan.
Where was you at, huh?
Yeah, man, I got a little tan. I was out of the country. I was in Mexico.
This nigga said
we need them Cancun calf confessions. Maybe we'll talk about that off camera. But in all seriousness, we do want to get just a short. Kind of reaction and initial thoughts of what you thought of what happened last week, and then also tying into what the losses of DJ Gio this past weekend.
I'm just gonna take you through it, man, because it happened Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So I wake up Sunday and I look at my phone, and obviously we're all in the group chat. So I look at my phone and I'm just like, I see is Rob, are you okay? I'm just like, what happened? Mm-hmm. And then I put my phone down, start getting ready for day activities. I'm on vacation, we turn it up. So, and then next thing you know, I see on my phone like mass shooting in Sacramento. And I'm like, I start putting two together, and I'm just like, oh, so that's why he's asking if Rob was okay. You know what I mean? And then I start really, really reading the group chat. I'm just like, damn, it really went down like that. Yeah. And so the initial thoughts is like, it took time for it to sink in. Because being in Sacramento, we're not used to this. Like, we're not in Chicago, like we were saying earlier. We're not in L.A. We're not in New York. You know what I mean? We're not in these cities that, like, they're used to this action. Like, us living here in Sacramento, like, people look at Sacramento, you come here to raise a family. You know what I mean? Like we're not used to this. You know what I mean? Like, we're not used to gunfire, people getting killed. Like, this is not our everyday. You know what I'm saying? Our everyday people look at Sacramento like that's a place I could go raise a family at. And I mean, you look at the surrounding cities, surrounding areas of Sacramento, like Roseville, Lodi. I mean, Stockton they made their name, but our area here, you know what I mean? Like, the reason why this is so big is because what Sacramento is viewed as, And so that's why it hit home to me. And then, like, seeing the video, it really just brought everything together. Like, you hear a mass shooting and then you see the videos and then you hear like the type of guns that was used and you're just like, man, like, it almost like it took my whole vacation and just put it in perspective. It's almost like, man, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like, there's people in my city dying.
You live in life as you're supposed to, though. You know what I mean? Like, life is a bunch of events, a series of events before our ultimate passing.
Right.
Regardless of the passing type,
Right.
We can die of natural causes, some health related stuff, or shoot, a propeller from an airplane falling and hitting you. I'm just throwing it out there. But ultimately, man, you're living life. You're supposed to have fun in these times.
Absolutely.
And the fact that someone's life was taken away from them while they were trying to have fun is the senseless part about everything.
Correct.
So you're doing a good thing by being on vacation and living your life. But it is tragic to have to come back home to hearing this.
To deal with that fallout.
Right.
Right. But I mean, the part that really hits home is just like, I mean, our show's about the night. We out. You know what I mean? Whether we working or we partying.
We outside.
And like, my brothers is out there. You know what I mean? Like, y'all's right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing that, seeing that, like legitimately in the group chat, like, Rob, are you good? Are y'all good? It's like, man, like, it really went down like that?
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, honestly, like, right now I'm having a hard time like just coming to terms with all that what happened. Like, I'm still like, I can't believe that happened in Sacramento, bro.
I feel you.
I can't believe that happened in Sac.
Let me ask you this question though, because you said, this is your city, and you kind of weren't here in the city, and I'm not going to sit there and be senseless to you too. You didn't feel the earth shake like everybody here who was out. And,
I agree.
You know what I mean? But now being enlightened to what did take place that weekend and hearing what's happening this weekend, how do you feel about going out right now?
Honestly, man, like, I don't know, man. Like, I was telling you guys before the show, like, I mean, it put everything in perspective, even just working at a nightclub. You know what I mean? Like, you never know, like, who's going to pull up, who's going to drive by. You know, you kick out the wrong person, or this person's partying next to this person in the club and they got beef. You know, like, like it puts everything in perspective. And, like, the whole vibe this weekend, like, it was eerie to me in SAC. You know, I never really felt SAC like that before. You know, like the way the crowd was coming out. You know, like Friday night, it was super, like, it was weird, man. Like, it wasn't busy. Like, usually you walk up to the club Friday night, there's a ton of people trying to get in VIP, trying to get in GA. But there's no lines. There's nobody. We're just standing around talking, shooting shit. And then gradually people are coming.
So people
gradually.
Like they second guess about going out.
Yeah, and it was, you know, Saturday night to me is our busiest night. It's always jumping. It was dead, bro. It was dead. It was dead. Sunday, dead. And I'm just like, this is the fallout.
What was people? Oh.
This is what I feel like. This is the fallout, you know, and it's just like I said, to me, the feeling coming home, you know, from, you know, Cancun, where it was lit. You know what I mean? It was lit. Coming home, and you instantly get that feeling. It's thick, like it's thick. It's just tension. It's eerie right now. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel the tension the city's going through. I definitely feel that the city's hurting right now.
I wanted to talk about that too, because I had the question. I wondered if people would want to come out this weekend and what that would look like, how the clubs look. I know off screen, Tony, you were out this weekend. Was it packed when you were out?
It was. I would have to say that it's not the typical crowd. Like, all the places were short. You know what I mean? It just looked like you could just see. Typically, when you're in a club, you could see, like, you just see a flood of people. You could actually see the whole venue just because it was just space between so much people. It wasn't the same crowd, you could tell.
Yeah, okay, I can understand that. So basically, a lot of people were taking the action of just not coming out, you know, because they felt like it was a little bit more dangerous or still hot to be out.
Well, some people, I don't know how people completely feel about it, you know what I mean? But some were almost mad at people for going out. Like, how can you go out after what just happened?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's either you cower away scared because you think that, you know, a situation, which I don't even think was affiliated with nightlife, but a situation happens and now you just want to stay scared in your home, kind of like, you know, with COVID, or you go out. You know what I mean?
What you're saying, though, is true, though. You know, some people are afraid to go out. But I do believe, if you did pay attention to last week's episode, you can't let fear, as my main man, Mr. Suede _coach said, you can't let fear dictate what you want to do and, you know, how you want to have fun and depict that. You know what I mean? So I understand your side when you say people are kind of afraid to go out. And then some people really are going out because they don't want to let that fear control them. Because let me tell you, right now, that fear can control and do a lot of things and make people say or do a lot of different things. So, Rob, you said it best last week, fear and not letting that dictate you. You went out this weekend. You went out and you were involved in that massive shooting. A little close than I would like to say. I wouldn't even say a little close. Shit, when you was in the middle of it, you just had an angel over your shoulder blessing you.
Something.
Shit. Tell me how it was this weekend, and like, tell me what's your thoughts on that.
Like I said, man, I wouldn't go let fear dictate my decision. If I choose to, you know, not participate in, you know, working the nightlife and that type of thing and doing the security thing, I'm gonna make that decision on my terms. You know, at the you know, the venue that ended up, you know, being at, you know, it was smooth. People was respectful. People were, you know, you could definitely see concern because you know, people come up to you that know you and, you know, say, man, you know, like, man, last week was, you know, crazy. Oh, I'm glad you good. Like, I got a lot of that. Like, man, I'm glad you straight and you okay, man. It's really messed up.
So was it popping this weekend, or?
I mean, no different than any other typical night. You know,
Okay.
The location I was at, it's more like a bar setting, so it's more of a revolving door.
Mm-hmm.
And people were out. It damn sure wasn't deserted. But definitely lighter than probably what downtown Sac is used to.
Right.
The one thing I did see, more active police.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
They was active.
And I feel
They was
like
active.
and that's a good thing.
It's a good
Right.
thing.
That's a good thing. My question would be, is it gonna be the 9/11 effect?
Hold on. Wait.
So
Explain.
with 9/11, TSA was,
Heightened.
on 11.
Right.
When it came to securing,
Mm-hmm.
and when it came to protocol procedure, how tight and strict they were running the show as far as getting in and out of the airlines and airports. If you go back to 9/11, the TSA it's not at the same level
Oh, it's not.
as it was back then when you were trying to travel.
Oh, never.
So
been the same.
there was a tapering off, right? So
okay.
and that could be expected, because you can't keep up those same amount of resources forever. You can't keep up that same level of focus maybe forever.
I wouldn't say
But-
they're tapered though. I would say
But
they
I-
incorporated what 9/11 did as far as the fluid check. Obviously
Right,
a little
right.
bit better with the
There's
X-ray.
still protocols and procedures in place that resulted from that tragedy.
which became normal though.
Right. So hopefully, in this type of situation, we have some of that trickle down effect.
Yeah, okay.
It's not. It may not maintain at its height. Where you just literally everywhere you turn, you see a police officer, or a squad car, but maybe it might institute a little bit more change in, rotation of police and maybe more roaming of them. More consistently, because like I said last week, man, regardless of how you feel about law enforcement, their presence alone is a deterrent for situations like this,
Yeah.
or that have occurred.
Just their presence, yeah.
So that's going to do that, and as long as it's, that they're acting from a non-adversarial standpoint, it's more of an
Protect.
observed perspective,
Yeah.
because just standing there, you ain't even got to be saying nothing to anybody or engaging with anybody. People are going to think twice about popping off. Now, yeah, there's going to be that one person that just don't give a fuck,
Super
but it's going to be
gremlin.
less likely. It's going to be less likely to happen with law enforcement present than not. And that's really what it comes down to. But that's what I did see.
I'll tell you this: I even got more thank yous ever working this job than I got this past weekend.
Oh, so Rob's little post made you get extra thank yous, huh? You felt good, huh? You felt good. You felt love.
I hope everybody, man, gave out some appreciation
Yeah,
to some of the guards.
I felt the love, bro.
Yeah.
Because people really appreciate us, giving up, pretty much putting our lives on the line
Right.
to make sure they have a good time. You know what I mean? I know we're not security, we're not carrying guns, we don't got badges, but we still there to protect the venue, protect everybody in the venue. So I appreciate all the people that came out and they thanked me, genuinely thanked me. You know what I mean? I felt the love. You know
That's
what I
what's
mean?
up. That's what's
But I had another quick question for you guys. How much of what happened unfolded last weekend or a couple weekends ago do you guys think was the cause because of COVID? Because like you said, we're outside. You know, during COVID, nobody was outside.
Hey, look,
You know what I mean?
I touched on it a little bit last week, and I'm probably getting a little backlash for it. But Rob said his piece about it too, but COVID for me, what happened during COVID is it allowed a lot of people to work from home.
Correct.
Right? A lot of these jobs that were in an area where it's different and kind of normal, I guess, for this gun activity, had the ability of working from home. So now with the ability of working from home, and if I'm at home, why am I paying these high mortgage rates, interest rates, or rent rates to live in that city opposed to coming to a different city where it's a lot cheaper, if not half, live there, still telework from home. And I know I'm saying this, and it's probably going to spark an uproar in the community, but I truly feel like, and during COVID, a lot of people from the Bay Area moved over here. And you guys can ridicule me now, ridicule me later, whatever you want to say. There's been a lot of good to them moving from the Bay here. And that good is shoot, for homeowners like myself, shoot, you see that property value go up. And I'm like, yeah, keep going up, keep going up. Why? Because, they're used to paying $600,000 for a little 1-bedroom studio, and now you got these homes out here in Sac that are going for $350,000, 3-bed. For they're like, oh, we up, and we working from home during COVID.
Right.
But now I feel like we're also getting that same type of attitude and violence that has been a stigma in the Bay Area, but no one really thinks about or looks at. But why? Because it's like, oh, it's the Bay Area.
Facts.
So you trying to put it on the Bay?
All right, damn. And see, that's what
You trying to put it on my?
I know.
On my side of the thing.
Hey, I said you. I know you from the Bay,
is.
but he asked a specific question about COVID, and there's one thing that I could tell you about COVID. What it did, what I saw, is a lot of people from the Bay started moving here, being able to work from home. And I say it that way because I was like, damn, these fools is genius. Shit, I did the same thing. I applied for jobs in the Bay Area that were telework from home and landed one. I'm like, shoot, I'm getting paid a cool little, nice little salary for a company that's, based in the Bay Area, but I'm working from home here in Sac, and I'm loving it. You know what I mean? So he had asked the distinction between COVID, and that is the one thing that I can say that I knew was going on during COVID, because my value of home increased.
You're speaking about just telework. Yeah, I think that's stemmed from COVID 100%. I think it's definitely companies themselves have had to reevaluate and readjust how they're going to, command their workforce. And if they can save money on real estate and leasing, then having a building to facilitate whatever that job is meant to produce, or provide, then that's the adjustment they're going to make is basically having people work from home if they can get the same output and productivity, right?
Right.
But to say there's folks from the Bay Area is the ones bringing the violence,
but see, I didn't even.
That's a stretch.
I didn't even mean it from that angle.
No, but
I'm gonna tell you this.
you meant
I'm
it
gonna tell you that.
COVID.
No. Let me finish something, because I'm gonna be honest with you right now, because the niggas that's out there teleworking ain't the same niggas out here in the streets
and
letting it sing.
That was a PG-13 version of what I was trying to say.
I'd like to know. Right? I want you to dive a little bit more on that
was
shit.
A PG-13 version.
You're gonna have to explain something to me.
But see, that's like I kind of mean it from
the niggas that I know that's with the shit.
I mean,
ain't teleworking with progressive.
I mean it from what you're saying, because like I was saying, so during COVID, everybody had to be home. So now everybody's able to go outside. People forget about, okay, is it cool to go to this area? Is it not cool to go to this area? You know what I mean? And during COVID, people got confused, and now it's just like, okay, we outside, we going anywhere. And then stuff like this happens. Somebody ends up in the wrong area. They shouldn't be here. This person shouldn't be there. And you have the result of last weekend. So that's what I kind of meant by, is COVID to blame for this? Because people got comfortable being at home for what? How long were we sitting down for? Everybody was sitting down for what?
It's hard to blame COVID on that shit, because even when COVID was going on and we was working at that one location,
how you gonna blame a disease for somebody's choice?
You gotta lose
like how you gonna like?
It ain't. And
COVID didn't make nobody pull that trigger.
Well,
man.
but this is the thing. Everybody's so happy to be outside.
Yeah.
And so,
that just increased the population and the populace of people that's out there at that time. But that didn't make anybody, get trigger happy.
But there's politics with being outside. You know what I mean? Like everybody's outside. So, but before COVID, there was rules to this shit. People don't go to certain areas. They don't party at this place. They don't party at this place. Now that it's free reign. Okay, everybody was sitting down at home for like a year and a half. We're outside.
So you feel like people just taking chances.
I think and people
They just because they
lost
haven't
touch.
been out.
They lost touch.
They're just taking chances
They
to
lost-
be wherever.
correct.
They think they're untouchable anyway.
Correct.
Or
Okay,
they
that's-
just
that's
don't
some-
know
that's
where to go
interesting.
because they're from a different city.
See,
Keep
that's-
going. I'm
that's-
just
no,
throwing
that's-
relevance in the motherfucking. Keep going.
I
That's
need
the-
you to stop
Keep
throwing
going.
mud on my shit.
I'm
bro.
not. I'm not. Hey, I feel you. And look, as much as I wanted to say what you're saying, because I worked in the industry during COVID, bro. I worked in the industry during COVID. And during the industry, when there was only one location, everybody knew to go to that one location.
Right.
There was no clause. There was no stigma. There was no rules. You come, you party, you had a good time, you go home. But even during that, there was multiple times when I seen cats thought it was cool and normal to walk up with the blippy just strapped to their little chest or in their little fanny pack or in their little pouch. And when I say they thought it was cool, I'm telling you, I saw cats when we checking bags and checking, wanding down, come get this wand. They open their bag and the blippy's right there. Like it was no shame. So are the rules out the window? Maybe they're just not thinking that because at the time there was only one location in Sacramento to really go to and party during COVID.
So wait a minute. So you see the hold on. You open up the purse and they got the heater in the
Bro,
bag.
he had the bag was like maybe this big, one strap.
So I need to
nigga,
ask you
blippy
this.
right
I
here.
need to ask you. So what do you how you got a low tone or a high tone when you say, man? What
No,
you
I kept it 100. You know why? Because the reason why is I knew it because my boy got the same thing. He got a concealed carry weapon. And we was in we was in a casino with the strap on us playing roulette. Nigga just sitting there, right here on his chest while we fucking playing roulette, putting our bets on. So nigga, I know. So politely, I was just like, hey, bro, no guns inside, man. Go leave that shit in the car. He put the shit in the car, came back, checked him again. He good to go. I ain't gonna sit up here and hound you because you was not thinking or not knowing that this venue actually checks bags. I wasn't
but
going.
You know that you can't come up to the fucking club.
He
with the
came
shit
into
on.
it and opened up the bag. Like he was on his phone too. He was like, I was like, I need to see what's in your bag. He was like, all right, yep, not a problem. He zips open the bag. Like, yeah, bro, you gotta leave that in the car, bro. Like,
So did he catch it first or you?
nigga, I caught it first. He just opened the bag like he forgot it was in the goddamn bag. Nigga, the bag was this small. How could you
That's why
forget
I'm
what's in
asking.
the fucking bag?
I'm asking, like, was it a situation where he forgot that it was in there, or
He was just on his phone, probably not expecting me to have to check his bag.
So what was his reaction when you said he had to go to?
It was a cool reaction. Oh shit, man, my bad, bro. I'll be right back. It was kind of one of those. Yeah, hey, he continued. He came in. He continued to party. He was a little. How do you say? Musclehead. When he was in there. Obviously, you can't tell him shit, but it wasn't over the point to where I had to worry. So
Let me say this, man. Let's get into some of our topics. And that segues into something because I do want to start with this.
Retaliation.
No, are we safe?
No, your neighbors. Hey, this is the thing, man.
So go ahead, Warren.
This is the thing, man. Like, are we safe ever? No, anybody can get touched. Period. At any point in time, no matter what. I don't care if you're the president can get touched. So, are we safe? To answer the question, truly, no, we're not safe.
Shout out JFK, man. Rest in peace, homie.
So we're not safe no matter what. I mean,
hey, man, that's like a 50-some-year-old RIP
Hey,
chant right
Ain't
there.
nobody safe right there.
You're a little late, Win. But go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, you ain't safe no matter where you at. I mean, the best course of action is to just put yourself in the best situation where you're going to be safe. You know your surroundings. You know everybody around you. I mean, sometimes that's impossible, but I mean, given where you're at in the moment, you got to put yourself in the best situation to make yourself safe.
So that I know you answered that question in the sense of anyone could be touched. I think everyone knows that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question is more of, it has to speak to the masses. How do you say that to people who go out frequently as they do?
I did.
They know the risk.
I did. Yeah.
Do you think they know the risk?
They know the
Do
risk.
you think
They run
everyone
the
knows the risk?
We know the
They
risk.
run
No,
the
we
risk.
know. No, wait a minute. We know the risk. Does everybody know the risk?
What did I tell you earlier?
I don't think everyone knows
What did I
the
tell you
risk.
earlier? I never had more thank yous in this past weekend than ever.
I don't think they know the risk though.
People are telling me thank you because they know the risk.
I think that's going to be short lived.
As a club goer and a security guard, when I was club going, we knew the risk. But at the time, the risk was fists. I'm gonna knock somebody out. Somebody's gonna get laid out. I'm finna hurt somebody physically with my own body. It wasn't like I know the risk, like somebody's finna come at me with a clap just because they fucking bumped into me at the club. Like,
Times have changed.
They have.
Yeah, times have changed.
They have. So you really don't know the risk. Now you have to think that, the risk is, instead of me thinking that I got hands and I can fight anybody that's out here, yeah, I may be able to fight anybody out here. But this person who knows that he can't fight and ain't trying to fight, he's like, nigga, I know I can't fight, but I still got issues where I want to fight somebody. I'm going to have this Glock on me just to make sure if I can't fight, I'm finna win this fucking battle. Facts. The difference is, yes, we knew the risk when we was going out into the clubs. It's just during that time when we was going out to the clubs, we wasn't thinking that anyone was bringing a strap or pulling that fucking shit anytime. Anytime I've been out, anytime I seen a fight. Nah. The worst I've ever seen was Mace and a taser. And that was because, I'm gonna say his name because I got nothing but love for the McNugget, my nigga Ash. My nigga Ash walk around with a taser and he just be fucking with people. He just set it off around you just to get you fucking your blood boiling. Oh, ask that nigga, man. Get that nigga McNuggets all day. That nigga will love that shit. That's my guy though, man. You know, hey, real talk. Yeah, he already know what's up. That nigga talk so much shit, but I still got love for that nigga. But the worst I seen was niggas was getting sprayed with mace. The worst I've seen is niggas getting sprayed with mace.
So I think you guys are looking at it from the lens of your own experience and the people that are in your circle. I'm a speak for myself, just someone who's at the front.
Okay.
And sees the people. I see every single soul that walks through that fucking door. They out of touch.
Ooh, what you mean out of touch?
They are oblivious to what's going on.
Now,
the vast majority of people that go into these venues are oblivious. The vast majority of people that go into the nightlife, that go to a bar, that go to a nightclub, that go to a lounge, that go to a hookah bar, that go to a fucking arcade spot, whatever, something that's late night, I think they're oblivious. The majority.
Okay.
The people you talking about is the minority.
We
move a little different.
Okay.
We move a little different.
I see that.
They're not aware. So I can tell they're not aware because I can see it in their face. They're not aware. They don't even understand the dangers that's ahead of them. They don't understand it. They don't even see it.
So you think people just walking around here blind?
I will say yes.
Yeah.
You guys think so?
The only reason why I say yes.
The majority. You got to think about the majority. The majority of the people, I think this is people are gonna have a short memory with this.
So
I think everybody. Let me finish. Everybody's reacting a certain way. Everybody's saying, "Man, condolences." Everybody's saying, "Man, that's tough. Man, it's scary out here. Oh, I might second guess about going out." That shit about to last about a few weeks, man.
Nah, I'm gonna let that shit ring. At least if you tuning into this station, man, we letting it ring.
That's not the point, though. The point is people they're gonna choose their own impulses over your advice. Period. That's been the beginning of time.
Okay.
How long they been saying drug-free zone?
Years.
Niggas be high as fuck out here. They gonna choose their own impulses and Winton, the new word, vices.
Oh shit.
They gonna choose those things.
So look, Rob.
They gonna choose those things over their own safety.
Look. So you think people are walking around blind post what happened?
Yes.
Or before?
Both.
Both.
Right now, I think it's in the moment. In the moment, they're going to say the right things. People may move a little bit differently for now. But come holler at me in about a month.
Yeah, that's a different story.
I mean, I agree with you. I think things will come
People
down.
going to forget.
We're on high alert.
We going to remember.
Yes.
But we know it's always an issue. We always know it's a reality with us.
Because of our job.
Right.
Yeah.
But with the majority of the people that's coming in, nah.
I was out.
Sacramento is a frequent place where people travel for work, and they go to some of these nightclubs and bars. The dude in Oklahoma, he don't know a goddamn thing about this shooting, and he gonna come up here and like ain't shit going on.
So do you think this is unique? The way people think is just unique to Sac, or is it like this in other cities?
Oh no, it's unique to Sac, bro.
I think it's unique to Sac.
It's
I think in other areas people move different.
It's common.
If you go clubbing in Oakland, cats be moving different, bro. You go clubbing in LA, people be moving different.
Okay.
Chicago, people will be moving different. Here, it's a little bit. I think there's an illusion of safety, and it's a covering that Sacramento has been uninitiated to.
Oh shit! You said an illusion.
I don't
of
think it's
safety.
illusion.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck what he just said. Fuck. Say that again.
I don't
bro.
think it's illusion because I think it's our reality. We don't live through this every day. We don't live in Chicago. We don't live in LA. We don't live in New York.
No, but
where
you
they
gotta,
got tons
but
of
you got to
crime.
understand though.
We don't
even,
have that.
Even though that it may not be happening as high as of a clip as those areas, it still exists.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to it. We talked about it last week. You talked about it's scary. Like people for innocent people, they was out here. They're getting involved in this, and they said they're not used to this. Yeah, they're not used to this. The people that's in this world, the ones that's in the mud, they do this shit every day.
I mean, but this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Does it happen? Yes. But
it's just that mud. It's
but
just that
look,
mud shit. Those politics. Those spilled over until we're in an area where
Correct.
It's not prevalent.
Correct.
As much.
But see, this is the thing, though. In Chicago, on the weekend, they'll have 150 bodies in a weekend.
Facts.
We're not doing that.
I mean, we're bigger.
You know what I'm
that's a
saying?
bigger city too.
But we're not doing that, and that's what I was saying like previously. That everybody looks at Sacramento as a place to raise your family because it really is though.
But
you would legitimately move here to raise your family because you don't have that type of crime.
So you from Sac, right?
No, shit.
I was raised.
Yeah,
in a-
okay.
They don't have.
Wait,
They don't. Oh wait. Well, speaking about crime, they don't be having the murdering, but they're breaking in your car out here.
Yeah,
So
they-
yeah,
it's
that's
petty
true. That's true.
crime.
But look, wait, you're from Sac. Respectfully, you've been here for what, 5-6 years?
I've been
More?
here longer. I was raised
Okay,
here.
so you're from Sac, but you know about the Detroit, Chicago. You know
Correct.
about all these killings.
Correct.
You know about it. What he was saying is that we know about the dangers of being out, but there is an illusion of safety in Sacramento because we're not known for this gunfire. That's what the illusion is. The illusion is people think they're safe in Sacramento because we don't normally have the type of crimes, criminals, and gun activity that we've been having recently. We don't normally have that. So the illusion is we feel safe, but just like 9/11, everyone felt safe to get on a plane.
Nah, but you got
until some shit happens.
Even with that, man, you got to understand. That Sacramento has its areas.
It does.
Yeah,
The shit be popping off there.
But
Yeah.
but even in this area,
Just
But
like
it don't.
this-
But
just
it
like
don't
in-
make major news like it did because those politics stay contained in those areas where people are used to it happening.
I just said that in the beginning of the show.
It spilled over into an area where it's not used to happening.
I said
and
that.
people and what's ended up happening is it made national news for the wrong reasons.
Why? Why did it make national news?
Because of where it happened and how it happened.
And now we got a bigger icon like DJ Geo, who it didn't happen in a town or the public area that ain't getting the same national news. But this guy is fucking huge to the community of Sacramento.
Right, but what I'm
R.I.P. DJ Geo.
R.I.P. to the dude, man.
Yeah, 100.
Like, just way too early.
100.
But to your point, you think that people know. I don't think they do. I see it in their eyes. They don't know. I scan every fucking ID that comes through the door. I can tell you right now, they don't. They operate under a false covering of safety. They think that where they're going is like nothing's about to happen. It's a very an oblivious reaction. So for the majority of the people, no, I don't think they know. I think us and I think people that are used to that world or know somebody, may got a brother, got a cousin or something like that, someone that's initiated them to some type of reality outside of this safety net. Yes, they know, but that's the minority of the people.
But this is the thing, though. I know, you know, he knows, but we're still surprised at what happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course,
Absolutely.
Because
That's the thing, though.
Because
That's the
number
thing.
one, well, the number one reason is because Sacramento is not used to what was just displayed in the middle of a downtown area.
Because Sacramento's not on that type of time. If you really look at it, Sac's not on that type of time. They're not on that type of time.
Not in that. I think the location matters though, man.
But I don't think,
Bro, there was a murder here in South Sac that nobody fucking talked about.
Right.
But I don't think.
And I'm not, and that's outside of what happened to DJ Geo,
But-
and that's outside of that shooting in
but-
downtown.
Okay, R.I.P. to that guy that you're talking about.
But that's my point,
Hold on.
DJ Geo.
But was there 100 rounds on the ground? This is what we're talking about. Was there 100 rounds on the ground?
I see what
We're
you're
talking
saying.
about.
I see what you're saying.
A mass killing where there's 100 rounds on the ground.
They said this was the largest.
This
one in
don't
Sacramento.
happen in Sac, bro. There is no killings where there's 100 rounds on the ground.
I feel you.
Sac's not on that type of time.
I feel you.
They're not. You know what I mean? You see this shit in major cities. Major cities. Sacramento is, I'm telling you, this is a place you raise your fucking family. Period.
With you saying that, and obviously we've been kind of rambling on about this for a minute here. My question is this: the shootings that happened last week, for one, stop. Let's reflect. Take a second. There's a lot of names on that list. And my condolences once again goes out to everybody that suffered some type of loss from last week. Ultimately, the question really comes down to, with this week's shooting, this was a very tragic event. And obviously we had 2 weekends back to back where some shootings happened and someone was obviously lost. Condolences once again. Is this just the beginning? Do we see some type of retaliation after this happening? Or, I mean, is there more turmoil to come? Turmoil. I can't even say that right. Is there something else to come? Do you feel like there's more retaliation to come based upon 2 weekends in Sacramento where someone iconically in Sacramento was lost?
That's always a reality when you got people that's hurting.
Yeah. When you have gang violence.
You got, and it doesn't matter what side you affiliate with or associate with. Some side is hurting.
Right.
Whether they right or wrong.
Facts.
So somebody gonna feel some type of
Yeah.
way. Somebody's feeling some hurt.
You said
Somebody's
gang
feeling
violence.
some pain. Somebody's feeling some strife. Somebody's feeling some type of anger right now, and that may compel them to make a decision that they may not think they're going to regret, but eventually they will.
You mentioned gang violence. I'm sorry for switching it up. Fuck the gang violence. There was a dad that showed up for a 21-year-old who was shot. Had nothing to do with that shit. Retaliation for me personally? You shoot my girl? Oh, nigga, you shoot my retaliation. I know we supposed to be talking about retaliation and peace, but I'm getting hot thinking about somebody off of mine, and we ain't gang related at all. I'm fine. I'm wanting to seek retaliation just of my girl principle alone. They're like, fuck gang violence. Someone was shot who had nothing to do with that. As a parent,
as with the condolences with that family, and her,
100%,
and everyone that knows her.
I know I shouldn't be talking retaliation.
You have to understand, and this may not move smooth over with some people. Innocent people die every day. Do you think the target is always hit? Like these things end up happening. That's the reality in a world where everybody got free will.
Fuck, man. I'm sorry.
That's the cold part about it.
And that's the sad part, and that's not only is that's the terrifying part. Because as you stated earlier, anybody could get it. No one is safe in these type of situations. No one's fully safe.
Facts.
You can be touched.
Facts.
It's just tragic when someone that's not involved in any of these type, I guess you would say, in the source of what the reason or the motivation is why the shooting or the violence is happening in the first place. That's the tragic part. People that are not involved in these type of things, it's looked at as like why?
Can I ask a question? Are you talking like on some vigilante type shit? Like, I'm gonna find out who it was and I'm gonna get back.
Bro,
Super gremlin.
I'm putting myself in someone else's shoes, and I know that we're supposed to be promoting peace and, obviously, try to give a solution to people and what we can do to making this city better and improve. But me putting myself in a dad mode, if you touch my kid the wrong way, I might just, I'll go to jail if you touch my kid in the wrong way. Fuck it. Yeah, I'd lose my life for my kid. And And that's what I mean. Like, forget regardless of whatever, affiliation people have. It's the fact that innocent souls were lost. And in that aspect, the retaliation part is dude, people are hurting.
Yeah. The retaliation part is reactionary though. Like, you would want to respond correctly, understanding that, for instance, anybody that did lose someone like that, they have someone else though that they have to love and watch and take care of. Like, if your girl did die, you have to take care of your son. You know what I mean?
Right.
So hopefully that would, the higher road.
Yeah.
Take,
I mean, maybe you might take it the
Tony
way
got a
that
good point.
the way Jared Butler did in Law Abiding Citizen.
Tony made a good
Might
point.
take it another way.
Right.
But to retaliation, and you asked, is there more to come? I'm going to look in the camera. I'm going to ask anyone that's listening, anybody that knows anyone that's listening. That's a question we asking y'all. Or is there more to come?
Right.
You and somebody that you might know
Tony, what camera is he on? Which camera? Which camera? He on this camera?
has the choice. Choose. Retaliation or peace.
When you dealing
Do
with
are
dudes,
we gonna mourn some more people next week or the week after or a month later, and this is just gonna continue to go on a cycle based on that pain, or are we gonna shift and harness that pain and doing something different, and maybe changing your entire outlook on life and your whole motivation on why you in it in the first place? Maybe that you might consider that.
when you dealing with dudes with semi-automatics,
Super Gremlins?
you know there's gonna be retaliation. These dudes don't give a fuck. Period.
Super Gremlins?
on demon time.
They don't give a fuck, bro. And when they homies hit, I'm about to get their homie. That's the type of time.
And yeah,
So that's the world we're in.
but it all starts with a choice they have to make. They have a choice to pull that trigger.
Right.
They have a choice to load that gun.
That
Very
choice
true.
has been made already. When the life was lost, the choice was made.
Well, it's a tragic time, man. And one thing that we can obviously say, we're feeling some type of way about the recent shootings that happened and took place not only last weekend, where 6 souls were lost. We're talking about this weekend where 2 souls were lost. One of them being an iconic musician, DJ Gio. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to all the families. Condolences to all the families that recently lost somebody to a very horrible gun violent act that recently happened these last 2 weeks. Stay safe, Sacramento. And with staying safe and obviously as shifting for Sacramento to move in a different direction on how people go out and enjoy themselves at night, let's talk about how do people now enjoy themselves at night with these new venues, or with the venues that are out, with these new recent activities that are happening. How do venues stay open and continue to promote a positive atmosphere for people that are coming out?
There's going to be some adjustments made. I think that the question is going to be, are the adjustments going to be posturing or actual adjustments?
You're talking like the TSA aspect of 9/11. Keep
Right.
going.
Basically, is the venue is the illusion of making adjustments or the illusion of safety
Ooh.
going to be more valuable than actually creating a safe environment?
Well, the illusion is the police officers being more present, right? That's the illusion.
It begins and ends there.
Okay. But that being said, there's a money aspect to it. You got to fork up the dough. You cultivate and create an environment in which people are going to be under the influence. You need to take those necessary steps.
So,
And if you are a venue that is already taking those necessary steps, you're already a venue that's actually exercising those
Yeah.
type of things. Great, and kudos to you.
Right.
What continues need to happen. I'm speaking more to the people that want to cut corners. I talked about it last week. You cut corners with this type of safety and these type of protocols, you cutting somebody's life out. Period.
That's huge.
I spoke to an owner. I spoke to one of the owners at the venues that we're seeing at, and That's the measures they're taking. They said they're about to have security. They're about to have real police all night, all Monday through Sunday. He told me, I asked him, I was like, is it pricey? He was like, it's expensive as fuck.
I'm guessing like $5 a night.
More.
Shit.
Yeah. But he's like, it has to be done. He's like, it comes out of our pocket. He's like, we don't want to pay for it, but he's like, we have to do it.
The ramifications of not having them is what happened on the Channel 10 News. You
Absolutely.
know, other than that, if there was a presence there, I'm pretty sure someone wouldn't end up on Channel 10 News. You know, so
you have a responsibility. I spoke about it.
Yeah,
I've talked about it. You have a responsibility, and we got a responsibility. Us doing security, we got a responsibility. Everybody has to play their part. When it comes to the billfold, the club owner, you got to fit that bill.
Facts.
You create the environment in which you have, and whether that environment is something that, I want to say this, you control the theme and the aesthetic and the stigma of your environment. So let's keep that in mind too. You know exactly what type of club you are. There's a theme to it. We know the clubs and the nightclubs, the lounges, the bars, that they have a certain stigma about them. They have a label.
Speak your mind, man. Preach.
You know that.
Facts.
So if you know that,
that's facts.
then you need to take the necessary measures
To change it.
Yes. Or if you're not going to change it, provide the security and the protection, or at least the illusion of that to keep it going.
That's facts.
shift.
And it's going to have to come out of your pocket.
That's facts.
Let's make a shift.
You're
Sacramento.
making money off of cultivating that environment that facilitates people to get under the influence. You're going to have to fit that bill. Period.
Let's make that shift, Zach. Let's make
That's
that
real
shift.
talk. Seriously, that's real talk.
Hashtag shift for
When you
Zach.
cultivate that environment, you got to foot the bill.
So, honestly, everybody, I want to take some time to thank you guys for tuning in. And I do want to thank the one comment that we had, which was by Angel Isaiah. Man, appreciate it. I wish I could say it was a happy Monday. Obviously, we're still mourning over the loss of iconic DJ in Sacramento, DJ Gio. Once again, shout out, rest in peace. Rest in peace to the 6 souls that were lost last week as well. The city is changing. The city is changing. And we're really here to try to make a shift for Sacramento. If you guys are tuning in and listening, please, please, please listen and just try to use this stuff on a day-to-day basis. I know we're trying to tell you how to get into the club, how to maneuver in the club, but there's a specific etiquette you take when going out. You could ask our guy Tony. He did not take that precautionary etiquette this weekend, but he definitely
Show him the war wounds. Show him the war wounds.
Oh, he feeling it though.
No.
He feeling it.
we won't go there.
Super gremlin.
But we really do try to give you guys
Put a cape on him. Put a cape on that thing. Put a cape on Gizmo, y'all. Put a cape on Gizmo and throw some water on him. You about to see the super gremlin.
Oh shit!
It is not demon time. It is not demon time.
I got my boy though. I got him home safe, man. I got
Hey,
you.
That's what's up, man. But honestly, we do try to give you guys proper etiquette on when going out to the nightlife and really what it takes in order for you to have a successful, happy, fun night, because there's ways of doing it and getting home safe. But right now, Sacramento is going through some things, and our thoughts are for the people of Sacramento. There's a lot of people who are mentally stressed and mentally, can't even sleep because of what they've experienced. So if you are having some of these issues, please, please, please reach out to someone, talk to them, get that out, because you shouldn't have to mentally suffer alone. Have someone out there to helping you out. So I don't have any good recommendations for that, but I know certain jobs, certain jobs offer it for free, based upon the recent drama.
What you talking about, King of Sacramento?
No, real talk.
I don't know what you talking about.
Let me tell you.
You sound like somebody don't know how to wrap it up.
Nah, I'm trying to wrap it up, but on the real, there's a lot of people that are out there right now that are still, till this day, mentally stressed out about it. And I say it that way because I was there. I was there Saturday, not as deep as Rob was. I was smart enough 20 seconds beforehand to basically just have those instincts to get the fuck up out of there. Not everybody has that instincts, like we said. They don't come here. You go out there, you're having a good ass time after the club ends up. You think this is what it's supposed to be. Nah, nigga, get your ass home.
Facts.
That's that time, right? We were out there. My significant other is having some hard time sleeping. And the night of the shooting, I was taking a shit. 3:40 in the morning. As I was going back to bed, I heard the 6 shots. I heard them coming from my back window. I can hear the shit. And I know who lives behind me. I hit that nigga in the morning like, hey, nigga, you good? I heard 6 shots last night. I failed to tell that to my significant other because I know how hard it is for her to sleep just out the previous weekend of us being out there on the corner literally moments before the shooting happened. So I'm saying it in the aspect for others that are still having some mental issues sleeping, mental issues going through what's happening. The shit's getting too close to home. I failed to tell her about the 6 shots because I thought I was saving her or helping her sleep. And just to come to find out, obviously with Natoma's buzz, she woke up in the morning like, oh my God, did you hear about it? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I heard it last night as I went to sleep. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to worry you. And sure enough, what happened today? She was up every hour. Why? Because it's too close to home. Way too close. Sacramento is not used to this type of gun violence that's happening.
Absolutely not.
And the fact that it's happening so frequently and so close to home, there's a lot of people that are probably out there wondering why they're feeling some type of way. And I want to make sure that I tell you, those are those moments and times when you need to find out or seek counsel and talk to someone about what you're really experiencing, because there are some lingering effects from what happened this weekend. I'll let you guys get your piece and we'll get up out of here. I want to thank you guys for tuning in late. I know we had some technical issues and we kind of started a little bit late. Unfortunately, when things aren't really cooperating at the same time, it does take some time. So thank you guys for tuning in late.
Appreciate y'all patience, man.
Absolutely.
We really just to shout out, a lot of people that's subscribing, that's liking, that's sharing the page. We're really trying to put that out there and kind of put some life and breathe some life into Sacramento nightlife and kind of giving you that glimpse. The good, ugly, and the funny. Right. That's kind of what we're doing here. Unfortunately, these past couple weeks, it's been a lot of ugly. Hopefully that turns around and maybe people might take my message and choosing peace and making that decision on not pulling that trigger, regardless of how you hurting or how you feeling.
Facts.
And maybe we could talk about a little bit something more constructive and positive about the nightlife next week. That's what I hope for.
Like my man King in Sacramento said, man, we outside. We coming up on these summer months. This is the prime time of year. Everybody likes to be outside. Everybody likes to be by the water. Everybody likes to have a good time. Let's just be safe, man. Let's just end the dumb shit, the bullshit, the gun violence, push shit. Leave that shit at home, man. Like, life's too short. You know what I mean? Like, let's go out here, have a good time, man. Just enjoy the weather, enjoy life, man. Put some meat on the grill.
Right.
Enjoy these holidays. Enjoy your company. Like, there's no need for these guns, bro. There's no need to be out here shooting. Like, there's so much to get into.
Seriously, man. Stop sitting at home worrying about another dude and spit at these girls' necks.
Facts, man. Like,
let's start doing that, fellas.
Like these summer months is coming, bro. Like, it's about to be lit. Like, have fun. Like, don't worry about no static and this and that. Like, go out and have a good damn time.
I feel you there, sir. Tony?
Yep. You said it. Close it up.
Yeah, well, once again, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in to About the Night, episode 18.
That nigga had pulled up the Wrap It Up video. Nigga.
Wrap that shit up, B.
Wrap that shit up, B. Wrap that gavel up, B.
Wrap that shit up, B. Fuck. Well, you're rocking with the best out here in Sacramento. About the Night, we got one behind the ones and twos. My guy Tony WSJ
already did the introduction.
I don't give a fuck. We doing it again, motherfucker. We got my boy right here, Rob Coates, who's already ready to get the fuck up out of here. Suede _ Coates. War ready with a 3 instead of an E and a King _ of Sacramento, man. Once again, Sacramento, stay safe. Our thoughts are with you. And once again, use that hashtag. What's the hashtag, Rob?
Shift for sack, man. We got to do it.
We got to.
Thoughts for sack, right?
Got to.
Shift for sack.
Shift for sack.
Our thoughts are with the city, man, but we got to shift for sack. We got to make a shift.
We got to. Thank you.